We all know managers who run their teams on pure stress and impulse, but true master strategists operate differently. Before they attempt to control a market, they train themselves to audit their own thinking. Let's look at how they build this discipline. To master judgment, raw data becomes meaning through a specific formula. Comprehension equals information plus context, prior knowledge, inference, and sense-making. True comprehension requires context and sense-making, actively interpreting information within your environment to figure out what it means for your strategy. But your brain actively fights this process. Two primitive systems constantly interfere: the survival-driven gator brain, which reacts defensively to any perceived threat, and the monkey mind, which is restless, impulsive, and easily distracted by the latest corporate fads. Below those two is the elephant tether. Like a young elephant tied to a stake that learns escape is impossible, executives develop learned helplessness. The physical rope is gone, but historical assumptions keep them tied to the excuse, "We have always done it this way." A master strategist recognizes these internal hurdles. They consciously calm the gator's fear, discipline the monkey's distractions, and challenge the assumptions keeping the elephant tethered. Kahneman divides thought into two systems: fast System 1 and deliberate System 2. Test it. A bat and ball cost 1.10 rupees. The bat is 1 rupee more. Ball cost? Fast System 1 guesses 10 paise. Analytical System 2 proves it's 5 paise. That quick miscalculation reveals a major vulnerability in decision-making. The majority of our cognitive biases happen when a fast, automatic System 1 guess goes unchecked by a slow, deliberate System 2 audit. This graph maps the Dunning-Kruger effect. A little knowledge triggers a massive confidence spike, the peak of Mount Stupid. As actual difficulty reveals itself, confidence collapses into the valley of despair before gradually rising along the slope of enlightenment to true expertise. This explains why a novice board member fresh out of a 2-day workshop will confidently declare they have the ultimate AI strategy, while veteran technologists tasked with implementing it point out the actual data constraints and risks. These cognitive biases are mental shortcuts that cause systematic errors in our judgment. They fall into 3 main families: cognitive biases caused by mental heuristics, motivational biases driven by personal interests, and social biases influenced by group dynamics. For example, under motivational biases is escalation of commitment, funding a failing product to avoid damaging reputation. Under social biases is groupthink, where junior managers stay silent on a bad acquisition because executives are unanimous. Biases are psychological tendencies, but this table highlights something different: logical fallacies. A fallacy is a structural reasoning mistake that makes an argument appear convincing, even when the conclusion does not logically follow the premises. 2 common boardroom fallacies are the ad hominem attack, where someone dismisses an analyst's valuation by insulting their age instead of their math, and the bandwagon effect, which assumes a strategy is brilliant simply because every competitor is currently investing in it. If you spot these flaws in real time, you stop being persuaded by loud, weak arguments, and instead base your decisions on actual evidence. Let's test your recognition with a final scenario. Imagine a manager who has spent 5 years on a struggling software rollout. The data shows it will never be profitable, but they refuse to cancel it because admitting failure now would look bad to the board. What mental error is this? That is the escalation of commitment. It is a motivational bias, a psychological need to protect one's ego, rather than a logical fallacy in the math itself. To protect your own strategy, you need to monitor all of these traps. You have to recognize when the gator brain takes over. Pause your automatic System 1 thinking to do the math. Respect the Dunning-Kruger curve to avoid unearned confidence, and separate your psychological biases from structural fallacies. Mastery requires looking past the market data and auditing the internal logic used to interpret it. Success depends on catching these systematic errors before they reach a final board decision.